Welcome back to Positive Life and Great Relationship. Today we're going to discuss why is it important to treat people good and appreciate them. We have to remember the people that are there for us, the people that appreciate us, and the people that show up to help us during our most difficult times. Sometimes we focus so much on ourselves because we're in a society that says that we have to self-value, respect our value, self-value, self-love. But that doesn't mean that we should ignore the things that other people have done for us. When they show up to help us emotionally, when they show up to help us financially, when they are there for us to make a difference in our lives, to help us when we have challenges and obstacles, and to be there for us to celebrate special events and accomplishments. It's just that when we sever our ties with people because of disagreements, because of things that we don't get along, because of something that was said, instead of communicating. That's why communicating is important. It's important for us to have healthy communication, to talk about things that go wrong. And if you keep having conflict over things, that means that it could be things that are deeper within our core, and that maybe we'll never resolve those issues, because if we blame everyone else for our problems, for all the things that happen, and then we always complain and whine and do things to really repel personal growth, then we're not going to get better. We could think that we're growing, like, oh, I'm getting stronger. We could be getting ruder, meaner, and disrespecting people. We could be getting worse. Just because we think we're growing, unless somebody else can measure our growth and say, you know what, you're getting better, that you are, working harder, you're achieving more things, that you're being more serious with life, and that you are respecting your time, then really, if we assume that we're growing, sometimes we do know when we're growing, but when somebody's growing more rude and growing more mean, then you know that something's going on, like there's some possessed demon or something, like what happened to that person that you assumed that you knew, that you thought was this amazing person, and then you just realize that some people are not. And sometimes we have to shed away the fat. They say shed away the fat. We have to get rid of what is holding us back in our lives. Because if you show support for someone and you appreciate someone, then they're going to really value you. And when they don't value you, then there's no reason to stick around anymore. Sometimes they talk to you in a way that you're like dirt, that you're nothing, that what you meant to them is like a lie. It's fake. It's almost like Instagram, where the models get different angles, filters, and they turn a certain way, and they're not how they really are. And that people that go leave comments need validation. When somebody says thank you, when they leave a compliment, then they assume that opens a door for them to start something, like, oh, that person said thank you, so now I mean something to them. So you just see a lot of this stuff that goes on and everywhere. And I always want to see people grow and appreciate people, because it's important to appreciate people for supporting you during your difficult times. That you shouldn't forget these people, and you should respect them. Because if you're like in an industry like Hollywood, if you're just in the mode of just being rude to people because you're angry about your life and that you're irritated or you had expectations that weren't met, then why would you treat someone bad that was there for you? Because you just never know what's going to happen in the future. You never know if you're going to cross paths and need that person's help one day. If you start burning bridges, then you're going to ruin many meaningful relationships in the future. That you may need these relationships to accomplish your goals, your dreams, or whatever you want to achieve in life and whatever you want to accomplish. It's just that when you start treating people bad because people are telling you the truth. And the truth does matter, though. Like, how does the truth not matter? That you don't want to hear the truth about yourself? If you don't want to hear the truth about yourself, then you're never going to grow. That you can't grow unless you know. You can't grow unless you know. Remember that. That in order for you to grow into a better person, you have to confront things that you have allowed to persist in your life, in your past, unresolved issues, challenges that you continue to deal with daily that you shouldn't, things that you complain about. Like, these things are not going to resolve themselves. And there's no use to complain about something if we're not going to fix it. And there's no reason for us to get mad that someone assumes that we can't get rid of a situation, because if we continue to deal with it, then that means that we don't want to get rid of it. That we can't get angry out of all the things that we fail to do. We can't get angry at not working hard enough if we're not working hard enough. It doesn't matter what we did. Are you doing enough? And if somebody has the strength and the courage to tell you something that could help you, and then you could be rude to them, you could say mean things, and you could put people down and judge them, that becomes a problem. Because close friendships are two-sided. They don't work if they're one-sided, where one person is just really taking up all the time, all the energy. That they're pretty much like everything is revolved around them. And then one day you figure out that nothing mattered on your side. And then they just get angry because there's a reason. We may never know why they act a certain way. We may never know why they're into burning bridges or not appreciating someone. Why they say the things they do to make it appear that you matter to them, that they value you and they like you, and that they appreciate everything that you have done for them. But we may never know why they'll just come back all rude, angry, just really like in this like being petty and just treating you like you're just, you know, some sludge, like you're some seaweed, like, you know, surfing around in the dirty water, in the murky water. We just never know what they're thinking in their mind. Like, why are they acting like that? We don't know. But the thing is that if we're ever put in a position where we know that someone has been there for us and that has been an instrumental part of our life and has been there during our difficult moments, then appreciate these people. Don't unravel. Don't be rude. Don't be critical. Don't be judgmental of these people. These people that have cared about us and have supported us and has always been there to guide us, that when we don't accomplish something and we're angry about something and that we just feel like that we're going to explode, don't explode on those people. Because you hear things from everyone. Like if you're in Hollywood, like, oh, you're too old, you didn't accomplish this, you don't have this, or you don't have that. And if you allow that to internalize, then you start to treat people bad around you. The ones that are trying to help you, the ones that want you to live your dream, and then you start to treat them like the other people that didn't support you. The people that say you can't accomplish this, you can't do this, be realistic. Like we're starting to, if we treat them like the good people, like the bad people, then we're really not being moral. We're not like living that moral life. We don't have to be moral. It's no, reason for us to be moral, but being a good person matters. It does. Being moral does matter, but we're not obligated to be moral. To treat people good, to respect people, to value people, and to love people. And that sometimes we forget about the people that are there for us. That we find comfort in being mean, and being angry, and just really putting down people. Thinking that that people are talking shit about us when they're not. If people are talking shit, you'll know it. That they'll be like putting down your looks. They'll put down everything. They'll attack every vulnerability and insecurity you have. But if we come to people with our problems, with needing help, and they're talking about the problems as they are because we shared them, then we should appreciate them. We should appreciate these people that, that spend time and energy and put the effort in to be there for us. But when we start treating people poorly and just really, just hurting people, that stuff will catch up to us one day. Don't think that we could live our life treating people that have supported us and that have valued us and have respected us. We can't think that we could continue treating people like that and go about our lives, not think that something in the future is going to happen, That there's God, there's the universe, there's karma, and there's people. And people know. People know when someone is not a good person. They could be a good person, but people know. And sometimes people are willing to still help out when they know this person is not great, It's not somebody that, the things that they do, that they could be strange and weird for getting into bad situations that are not normal, that are abnormal. But we could just hold that back. We could withhold that we're not going to, remind them of something that they already know they're doing and why they're doing it. But sometimes we want to see them live better and not deal with these daily problems that they have a hand in causing, that they're responsible for these things happening, that no one is to blame for their problems but them. That if we don't make progress in our projects, and that we don't achieve our dreams, we don't accomplish our goals, and that we could be somewhere that we're at the right place at the right time, but we have the wrong problems, then those things are not somebody else's fault. They're our fault. We choose to live our dream. We're a human being first, and we choose to live our dream. So we attach our value to our dream, then we start to be desperate. We start to do things that are uncharacteristic of who we are. That we're falling back into situations and not really, and then we start to not appreciate people because people care about us, they come around and we push them away. Like we don't deserve good people in our lives. Like we don't deserve friends. We think that we can just go find another friend that's gonna do more and that's gonna care more and that's gonna value us more. And then one day in the future, we reflect back to right now and we knew that we made mistakes, that we knew we did something wrong, that we did not